Dear Witch, I'm making this as a video response to Dom and Brandon's videos about homophobia. Number 1, Brandon, I hope things have gotten better for you since you've come out. It's always hard when your family don't accept you, but if you can find yourself, be yourself and accept yourself, then I think it'll make it easier for other people to accept you. Thankfully my mother had no problem with me being gay. My dad had like that much of a problem. He kind of felt that it was his fault because he and my mum split up when I was about 10 or 12. So he hasn't been around in my life for the last 10 years or so. He has, but yeah. Anyway, as for my grandparents, I'm glad to hear that yours accepted it. I think my grandparents were the first people to suspect I was gay, so they kind of had the best part of 20 years to come to terms with it. It might not have been their primary thought during the day, but I'm sure they've thought about it more than once. Anyway, back on topic. Dom mentioned that there've only been 2 footballers that have come out, and we had, unfortunately, the horrible situation with Justin. Things just got so bad he couldn't handle it anymore. And we have Anton. Hopefully it takes more than one, but one is enough to start things. There was a great passage, I have it in my other video, well, the other video I will upload. This was from Dr. Margareta Camamar, Colonel Dr. Margareta Camamar, and it says, throughout the world, there are times when change can be made only by someone stepping forth, being willing perhaps to expose themselves and their vulnerability so others become aware of the fact that there are differences in the world, so that people will understand these differences are okay and don't affect our ability to be part of an organisation or to make a contribution. That's I keep saying Dr. Colonel Margareta Camamar. She was the most senior person to challenge Don't Ask, Don't Tell in the US Army. And that kind of leads me into my next point, which is kind of, is there a similar situation? Am I being OTT and making too big of a leap to say that there's a Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy in soccer internationally? Is it too big of a leap to say that? I'm not entirely sure, to be frank and honest. I think, did anyone see the documentary that was on BBC 3 the other day? It was made by Amal Fashnu, Justin's niece, and it was all about why we have no openly gay footballers. And Max Clifford, the editor of The Sun, I think it is, basically said he had about half a dozen that he knew of that were either gay or bisexual, that wanted to hide the fact that they were gay or bisexual. And is it just the main reason for touting Don't Ask, Don't Tell that was being put forward by the generals and the old guard in the army was that it was to protect the outed lesbian or homosexual from the expected prejudice, bigotry, harassment of the heterosexuals in their teams, units, commands, whatever. Is this the sort of thing that's happening in football? Are we protecting the lesbians, gays, bisexuals in soccer from expected prejudice from the stands, the teams, their captains, their managers, their friends, their family? Is there such a need to come out that we're so afraid of it, and at the same time so desperate for it? I don't know. I've been kind of thinking about making this video the whole day and what I was going to say, and it's kind of not coming out the way I wanted to say it. But when is it going to be okay to have an out celebrity in the football situation? We have Gareth Thomas, who's married for years and came out in rugby, and he was, it's only helped his career. Coming out makes a person feel better, helps a person accept who they are. Now, in saying that, statistically there has to be a few gay players in English soccer, if we narrow the field. And they could be out in their personal lives, they could be out to their family, friends, whatever, teammates, but they're not out publicly. Perhaps it's too big of a leap, but if they're out, they're out. And if they are, then I respect everyone who's kept the secret for so long, because they probably understand how much bias and prejudice and hate and vile there is in the world. And when the media gets hold of the story, the amount of crap that can be dredged up and changed and twisted. Anyway, I'm not totally against the media, but they don't have a terribly good track record. I'm kind of rambling on at the moment, so I'll leave it at this, and I'll post a few comments underneath Dom's video and maybe Brandon's video. I'll have a read of some of them and give my opinions, but I just wanted to make this video and say sooner or later we will have more than one out gay, bisexual, lesbian, even a transgendered soccer player. We have out athletes all over the world. In Dublin we have a gay football team, we have a gay rugby team, we have a lesbian football team. I don't know if we have a lesbian rugby team, I'll have to look that up. I'm 99% sure they have gay football teams in New York, Boston, London. I could be wrong on that one, but I'm nearly sure I've seen something, and I think there's one in Wales as well, because our teams have been talking about meeting with their teams. And there are international gay soccer tournaments and rugby tournaments, so there has to be, there must be enough acceptance within the world that people can feel comfortable saying that they're gay. But at the same time, having to play at an international level, at such a high level, within such scrutiny from commentators, fans, teammates, etc., must be an incredibly scary thing. So again, I'm kind of rambling, and this video has probably got up to about 6-7 minutes. I'll try and edit it down a little. But anyway, all the best. Big fan of you guys on Global Gays. Agat, Slán.